The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised. Well, everybody, good evening and welcome to the Carolina Cabinet. I'm your host, Peter Pappas, in studio with Mrs. Laura Musler.
Hello. Good evening. Sorry, I'm online.
Distracted.
I'm having an argument online. Yeah. I apologize.
Well, you know what? I'm proud that this is we are the only homegrown conservative talk radio show in the region, and we know this is the smartest hour of radio. Our job is to give a voice to the conservatives of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and beyond. And welcoming special guest this evening, Mr. Robert Edwards.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Glad to be here, man. Thank you.
He has a great radio voice, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah, we're going to get into some promos. Yeah.
How you doing?
It's good for promotion.
Yeah,
it's good for promotion.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, well, Robert, we pretty much start our shows and we're like, hey, what you been up to the last week? So, Laura, you go first. Ladies first.
Let's see. What did I do this weekend or this past week?
You had a big week last week.
We did?
You did.
I did? What did I do?
You got let's see, you got made El Presidente.
Oh, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
I was sworn in as the president of the Fayetteville Republican Women's Club.
Which is the oldest Republican
It
women's club.
is this year.
Not by average age of the member, but average age.
Oh, but by average age of the member too.
Okay,
yes,
they have the oldest Republicans.
But yes, we will be 55 years old this year coming up.
Okay.
So I'm sure we'll have a party to celebrate 250 years of America and 55 years of the Fayetteville Republican Women's Club. And we're always looking for new members and people to join us.
Mm-hmm. Safe place to head out. Where are you going to be meeting this year?
We have a brand spanking new location. We are at Anchor Alleys on Bragg Boulevard. Mm-hmm. This is a young woman who started her own business, who was in the Navy, and that's where the Anchor Alleys comes from. And she has a beautiful location. She is a beautiful woman. And everybody, if you haven't eaten there, the food is fantastic. The service is fantastic. And we meet there on the first Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. And we have the little speakeasy, she calls it, in the back room. It's so cute. I
like
it.
That because, when I first started coming around anything political, the FRWC was like at Highland,
Well, that's why I joined.
Going to Highland and raise the pinky, when it was real kind of stodgy.
No, not at all. It was not stodgy. The food was
being
good
at Highland. I'm not do I look like a country club guy to you?
Well,
come
that's
on.
true.
Come on, Robert.
I mean, you could pass.
I mean, I could get by. Okay.
When you dress up, you do.
When you clean me up. Okay. So you're now the president, and I'm sure you have big plans for this year.
I do. I'm already working. I already have my calendar for the entire year mapped out. I'm making games for every single month. I'm on month 2 of the games. I've already got speakers lined up for the first 3 or 4 months. So
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited. As opposed to, hey, who's speaking this month? We've got 2 days to figure it out.
Hey, who's got dibs?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all I did, I ended up in the paper again. I did go to speak at the Interbasin Transfer session. This is really exciting stuff, by the way. Fayetteville Tech, the Department of Environmental Quality had a public forum for input with Fuquay Arena is now trying to steal our water.
Okay.
So, and this is the thing, we don't mind helping out a neighbor, but they want 6.17 million gallons per day. That's number one, which represents about 20% of what we need every day.
Right.
And if they flip the switch, so to speak, and they take it, we automatically, even in nice, like rainy weather, like we're having, puts us in a drought condition right away.
Sheesh.
Okay. And here's the thing. I wouldn't mind if they borrowed it, but they need to use it. They need to treat it and then dump it back in the Cape Fear.
Right.
But they want to dump it in the Neuse River. So they just want to give it back. Right. So anyway, myself, I think there was like 47 people that signed up to speak.
Wow.
The room, Laura, Jim, what do you think? 200 people in that room?
At least.
Easily?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of, and there was one resident, and we need to have him on the show. His name is Mr. Cardona. Mm-hmm. He was the only Fayetteville resident that spoke in favor of letting them have our water.
Wow.
Talk about bravery, like in the room.
Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger, big time. But So myself and some other people, so I spoke on behalf of the chamber.
Yeah.
But the other people were just citizens, or one of my friends remarked that, hey, did you realize that 5 of us were in like the 40 under 40 class the first year, like 20 years ago? I'm like, yeah, that was a long time ago. But we looked around, and the joke is that we're the adults now.
Wow.
We're the ones that are supposed to be going and doing this stuff. I just thought we were citizens, and all of a sudden we're the adults in the room.
Phenomenal advocate.
Yeah.
Thankful that you spoke.
So did that. I did visit a new barbershop, Kraken Skulls. You ever heard of them?
No, talk to me about them. Where are they located?
So Kraken Skulls is on Bragg Boulevard.
Okay.
There's 2. So Kraken Skulls is the barbershop.
Yeah.
On Shannon Drive, that little behind Krispy Kreme.
Right.
And that's where the fat kids will anchor it. Like, I know where it is now. It's by Krispy Kreme.
Right.
And then Kraken Customs actually is next to Krispy Kreme. Yeah. And they do the custom cars and all that kind of stuff. So it's a veteran-owned, operated situation, and friendly people.
As you can see, I'm haircut friendly.
Okay,
so that's why I asked. Anytime you're talking about them,
Look, what do you pay for a haircut? You don't. I mean,
currently, my barber actually has them on a retainer, but I would say per cut probably about $35-$40.
Okay, well, $40 is what for a cut and to trim the beard up a little bit, so I don't look so homeless.
I want to get my hair cut for $40.
I bet you would. Yeah.
I'll do it yourself for that price.
Now they do, if you want to pamper yourself as a male, they do the $60. Well, they'll do the steam and the straight razor. Yeah. The last time I had a straight razor shave, the gentleman over at Highland Barber, he had Parkinson's.
Oh dear.
Wow.
So you're in the chair and you see him doing like this.
Do you have to shake too? So that
I'm thinking, all right, I'm losing an ear. Let me tell you something though. That old man, when he made contact,
oh yeah,
the hands of a surgeon.
Wow,
man, he was on it. But coming towards, I'm thinking, oh, this is a bad idea.
No, I'd be nervous about that. No, I live by the lineup. No, I'd be nervous by that.
But there's something about that straight shave.
Yeah,
makes you feel like like a grown up. So, what have you been up to the last week?
Press conference, and more press conference. So we're landing into that this week. So all of our planning over the last several weeks, but specifically now, even this week. December 12th, press conference. We're going to be at Alpha Academy. So there's a lot of backwards planning that goes into that. How do you coordinate, city officials and, people to come and do words of acknowledgments and stuff like that. You don't want to leave anybody out, not to mention your sponsors. This is like the Super Bowl, for those guys that have decided to partner with you early in the game. You know what I mean? And shout out to them, by the way, looking into partnering with us, early, right? We haven't played a game yet. And part of our mantra is before we compete, before we entertain, our goal is to connect. And so, shout out to our partners for being able to do that. And so, anyways, getting back to the press conference.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what we jumped right into just what you've been up to. So, all right. So this is Mr. Robert over here, and you are with, go ahead. And
so my name is Robert Lee Edwards Jr., team market owner of the Fayetteville Liberty. So we have purchased and brought back basketball to the city of Fayetteville. We're excited about that. And I say back because at the end of the day, this is a restoration program, but we're doing it the right way. And so there are certain things like we purchased the team a year out. And so purchasing the team out gave us the opportunity to build corporate relationships, community relationships, political relationships, and making sure that we're not only cemented as an entertainment organization, but our ability to cement ourselves as a connection agency. Our goal as a team is to simply say for several moments throughout the day, we're coming together for one common goal, and that's hope and community. That's our vision statement.
So we have the Woodpeckers.
Yeah.
I know what level kind of they're at.
Yeah.
So where does basketball fit into the So your team, where would it fit in the universe of
we're right
basketball?
under the NBA G League. All right.
I don't know what that
is.
NBA,
so you got NBA, you got the actual NBA. Then they have their own affiliate G League team. Okay. So as an example, the Charlotte Hornets, they have what's called the Greensboro Swarm.
Okay.
Right. And so now we're a direct feeder to either the NBA G League or overseas basketball. So we're talking about the CBA. We're talking about the Euro League.
So you don't actually represent like a team like the Woodpeckers do, or like a
you're not like
league.
You're not hooked up with like the Astros or something.
So we bought the market.
Okay.
So I bought the market of basketball in this area. One of our affiliates or one of our rivalry competitors is going to be Riley Firebirds. So they bought the market in that particular area. That said, we're the direct feeder for all basketball athletes that want to continue their basketball career, either post high school or post college.
So you're dealing with 18 to 24-year-old players?
Honestly,
or are they old men at 24 years old?
Actually a little further. We got guys upwards of 28, 29.
Well, you got some real geriatrics on that team.
Right.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
But so when you find players like that, though, those are players that are trying to extend their basketball shelf life because an overseas contract has ended. And so now they use our league to stay in shape, but they're still considered pro athletes. Okay. And so when you create that revolving door of players that are able to play year round, now they're professional basketball players all year round versus seasonal professional basketball players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there something that we could do about when you're watching a basketball game, that's squeaking on the floor?
Man, that's part of the game, man. That's part of the game. That's part of the game. That's how you know they're playing hard. That, you know,
is that what it is?
If they took it, look, if I had it my way, I'd put microphones on the court so it can amplify that. You know what I mean?
No.
That's a life of an entertainer right there. He wants to bring that. Yeah.
Put microphones on the rim too. I want you to hear everything.
Now the rim, okay, but that's
you got to hear a good backdoor cut every now and again. You know what I mean?
Okay. So like, how much ball have you played in your lifetime, professionally?
I've played definitely all 4 years of high school.
Okay.
Had a small stint with Junco, played overseas professional ball while I was overseas.
All right, slow down with the acronyms. It's either military stuff I'm not going to know or the JOCO, whatever.
So Junco is junior college level. Okay. So I was able to do that for a little while. Typical story though. You know, you get hurt, you have a bad attitude, can't do nothing with you. And then, you know, in my situation.
Whoa, where's this bad attitude?
Because
it doesn't seem like it's here anymore.
Humble, right? You get humbled quick.
All right.
So
have you had your first gray hair yet?
It's all
attaboy. All right, good. We're good. All right.
So for me, very competitive, hyper competitive. I grew up, 80s basketball. You know, Jordan was leaving the game when I was really understanding it, but Kobe took over with the same heart, right? And so the problem with me is I forgot that I was only 5'7", though.
I can identify with that issue.
I forgot. Yeah. So in high school, you're able to compete, you're able to do certain things,
right?
And then you realize when you get to big boy land, you're not who you were back in high school, and so you have your tryouts, you have your opportunities to make rosters, and then you find out there's a guy that's doing the same thing you can do, and he's 8 inches taller.
Oops. Yeah.
Right.
But this is 8 inches, right?
Yeah. It depends what guy math you're using. Yeah.
So they jump higher, run faster, cover more floor.
And that's why women are bad at math.
Yeah. Right. No, I'm messing with you.
Bad examples given. So,
right.
All right. So junior college ball, like, would you be maybe recruiting those guys?
Definitely. So listen, first of all,
I'm just trying to see how all this all kind of fits in.
So first of all, let's talk recruiting. So we are a feeder. We're a gateway for all students that are leaving high school basketball, that all students that are even in current playing college basketball, right? Because you got what's called like NILs and stuff like that now. So there's opportunities for high school athletes, college athletes to earn resources, right?
What's NIL?
And I name and likeness.
Okay.
I gotta help me out with the acronyms. Every time I do one, just hit a bell.
Somebody will hit the Google or something.
Yeah, NIL. So that's changed the game. And then you have like different leagues, like the OTE league, which is the overtime league. I think that's owned by Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
There's so many resources out there, like AAU basketball. I don't know what that stands for.
I don't know either, but I know about it.
But so there are all these different leagues and all these different opportunities that have,
AAU was more middle high school guys, but like the traveling team.
But so yes.
Okay.
But so what's unique about that though is that students even at the middle school, high school level are receiving name and likeness deals. So, and there was a time where you couldn't receive resources before going pro. Well, now with the things like OTE league, with the AAUs and the tournaments and the camps and all these things, opportunities for guys to go different routes are available. And that's what, our league is for. So
now when they get the name and likeness, and you're not everybody's daddy, but when they get recognition or they get funds, resources, as we kindly put it, what's the incentive, or what the hell are they doing with the money? If they're young, is somebody looking out for them financially? Or are we going to have a bunch of kids that pull their hammies and they're out of the game and they're on the street?
So if you're Shedeur Sanders, like Deion Sanders' son, right?
Okay.
You obviously have access. You've had access to resources for a long time,
right? And
you have someone in front of you that has had resources for a while, and so there's mentorship there. Honestly, for our young athletes, I think financial literacy is of importance, which is why one of our partners and main sponsors for our league is Mr. Jerome Scott, the insurance guy here locally. Okay. And so not only does he offer financial literacy and opportunities for that, but the league at large. So to go backwards, I'm a part of the TBL. It's called the Basketball League.
Okay.
So
straightforward.
I was going to say
that.
the Basketball League.
Right.
Wow.
The Basketball League, which is,
I would have liked to be on that marketing team. Get paid for that one.
The Basketball League. And so where it falls, again, it falls right underneath NBA, G League, et cetera. Right.
Okay.
But they even have baked in a literacy program for financial awareness, because we're not here just to give you a platform and create a level of entertainment. We're not just extending the shelf life of you as a basketball player, but we're trying to make sure that you're in control of your career from an economical standpoint, from an awareness standpoint, from an educational standpoint. And so we don't need you just to sign a contract blindly. Myself as a market owner, I'm adamant about, okay, what are you signing? Why are you signing? And what does this do for you?
And I think we're probably in the same age, what do you call it? Generation of X people. In our lifetimes, was it not previously kind of looked down upon to recruit out of college, not letting these kids finish?
Right.
And now they're starting to pick these guys out of like sophomore years, junior years. And has that,
well, you got to understand now, collegiate athletes now, they're not 18 and 19 anymore. Because of the new NIL, name and likeness, opportunities and opportunities for you to go and try your talent somewhere. You got guys coming back now 25 and 26 years old.
Oh, wow.
Playing college basketball, college football. So the game has shifted. So the first conversation is understanding that your AAU opportunities that you thought you had in middle school, early high school, being able to be seen early ESPN situations like that, they're not doing what they used to do, because now they're getting athletes that are older, because the younger athletes that are great are getting opportunities to be professional at a younger age.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just,
but where's the encouragement for them to finish school? I mean, that was always kind of the thing to me was, you can play ball for a couple of years. You have your window.
Yeah.
But what happens? They get injured. What happens if they don't complete the school? Like who's really looking out for these guys? And then, like I said, you're not their daddy.
Yeah.
It's not your job, but is there consideration paid to it?
So by the time they come to us, so let's talk about the college athlete that would probably come to us. Typically they would be a FTCC graduate, or someone that's at FSU, or someone that's at Methodist College. In process, right? Okay. And we're talking to them junior, senior year. And so we're asking them, what is your trajectory look like? Our general manager, Tyrus Ray, he was adamant about telling me in the beginning, Robert, everybody's why is different. So before we even talk about basketball, I want to know what your goals are individually and personally, right? And then after that, what are your basketball goals? And then what are your life goals? And we're having those intentional conversations, because I'm not here to sell anybody a pipe dream.
And I think that's what concerns me is like, look, not everybody going to be Jordan.
It's not going to happen.
Even though he went to Chapel Hill and he's a local, like he's it. Not everybody's going to have that kind of talent.
Yeah.
Or worse, they get injured and they're taken out anyway. So
with our team directly, I'm glad you said that. Numbers are still numbers, right? You're only going to get certain percentages, which are extremely low, that are going to leave high school, college, et cetera, and end up in the NBA. On our team specifically, as in terms of our camp selects and candidates and stuff like that, we only have 2 guys that are playing pro level basketball overseas right now. 2. All right. The league at large, the TBL, all right, the basketball league at large, to my count, currently has about 7 guys, that are playing overseas or in some sort of NBA G League affiliate. So you still have to do. So
the guys in your league are seeing that you got to be creme de la creme. You got to be the top gun basketball player to do that. So they got to continue to work hard.
Which is why our program is a shelf life extender.
Okay.
We're here to put you in a situation that if you really believe that you have what it takes, we're here to offer you opportunity, because the one thing people lack in this particular sport is footage. Everybody has stats. Okay. Everybody, you can see how many points somebody averaged and things of the such, but what political platform, I'm sorry, not political, what professional,
we'll get to that.
What professional platform are you captured on? Because content is,
you mean like network television platform? Okay. So when you say film, you mean film?
No, I mean real film. I mean, so we have what's called the TBO dashboard, where all of our games are filmed, live streamed. Let me say it that way.
Sure.
Live streamed over 150 networks concurrently, not to mention our local networks. Not to mention, so when we say it that way, you have all of your country related networks that we're talking about, but then you have the America, right? And so we're talking about Instagram, we're talking about YouTube, which is the biggest form of currency in terms of content as we know it. So if we're streaming across all of these different platforms, now we're extending the shelf life of actual film that you're going to have for people to be able to see your talents.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that is important. You want to see the
gotta
product.
See them. Yeah. You got to see them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we hit on a topic about these young cats.
Yes, so, we did. One that I'm very excited about.
So we're going to shift for just a moment into some political conversation. But we wanted to talk about the Trump accounts. That seems to be the thing that kind of came out in the last week or two, I think, because we were talking about it last Wednesday, I think. So let's dive in. So I think you might have heard the headline, Trump is giving everybody $1,000. And as usual, it's a little more complicated.
It's not everybody. It's new children, babies that are born.
New children?
Babies that are born.
The new kids.
Yeah, the new kids on the block. The ones that are born while he's in office. It's specifically while he's in office, from the time that he was sworn in until he leaves office.
Okay.
That's $1,000.
So it started with Trump's big tax package, though, the one big beautiful act, or one big beautiful bill act. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And if your kids, so like you said, if he's born he or she is born 25 to 28, wow. So the federal government gives $1,000 into an investment account, but you don't see a dime of it today.
Thank goodness.
Smart.
Why? I want my money. I want it now.
Let's go get cigarettes and beer.
Yeah. Booze and hookers, girl. Let's go. Rack a line.
Yeah. No.
So all right. So where does it go, the money?
Okay, so it goes in an account, actually on the stock market. So you're in your child's name, so the government can't borrow the money. It goes in the stock market for your child or your baby's name, so that you can imagine your child is 2 or 3 years old and grandma's across the country. Instead of sending you a $10 pair of socks, take that $10 and put it in your IRA. Well, it's like an IRA type thing, your college fund.
Yeah.
That money is compounded and it grows over the period of the years until you turn 18.
But how does it grow?
It grows from reinvesting
because it's in the stock market.
It's in the stock market.
It's not like a government bond.
Okay, let me give you a piece of information that I learned as an adult. If you are 18 years old and you match your SSI, the money that the government takes out for Social Security, if you match that money and you invest it in the stock market in blue chip stocks, if you don't know what they are, they're like big Fortune 500 companies. If you match that money and you reinvest your dividends every single year for 20 years,
wow,
there has never been a time in history that you would not be a multimillionaire.
Wow.
Never been a time in history. Okay. Well, okay, that's not true. But it would have been like you were a multimillionaire, because way back when it was, 2 cents for a loaf of bread or whatever, but you would have been able to retire with way more money. So in that, you're people that are maybe less educated, like me. I have a high school diploma and that's it. My mother was a welfare mom, and I was on my path to being a welfare mom too. I wanted more for my children, but I knew nothing in high school, in classes and things like that. Nobody ever taught us financial responsibility. Yep. You just,
what was it you called it, Robert?
Literacy.
Literacy.
There you go.
Literacy.
Right. Yes. Nobody ever taught us that. So if we open that door, 85% of the people are going to probably do nothing with it. But that 15% that never had a leg up now has a leg up. What is this? What is this market thing? What is this? And it's invested in your child. So the parents can't have it, but now you can add money to it, and you're giving your child the opportunity to have generational wealth.
Yeah.
College. If you don't take it when you graduate, when you turn 18, that's okay. It turns over to a regular IRA, and you can add to it every single year until you retire.
Right.
Did we find out, was there a limit to what you could add to it?
$5,000 a year.
Okay. So as a parent, as anybody, you can add to so it starts with 1,000, and then you as a parent or guardian or whoever can put more money.
Yeah, for my birthday present, that's exactly what I'd be asking. Would you do me a favor, and for my kids, just go ahead and whatever you were going to spend on that little crappy toy that you were going to get by my kid anyway. Now, I wouldn't say that, but
a toy that he doesn't need and some poor kid in China sweatshop probably made. So
right.
let it be.
I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
I made my kids, in order for Santa Claus or their birthday to come and them get presents, they had to get rid of toys.
One in, one out.
For one in, one out. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So,
boy, that's that restaurant training in you.
Gosh.
First in, first out.
That's exactly right. Whatever. Just too much crap is more like it. But anyway, yes, this gives you the opportunity to invest in your grandson, your niece, your nephew, or whatever, so that they can better their life in the future. There is zero downside that I have found to this yet, but there's a bonus. Michael and Susan Dell, the multi-billionaire Dell, the Dell computer people, have said, you know what? Let's take anybody that's under the age of 10 right now, and they're going to put $250 in for each child if you file. But now there's an income bracket. I think it's less than $150,000.
Yeah, but still, they donated enough for $250 each kid. That's a lot of kids.
That's a lot of kids. I mean, and then it's $250 more than you would have. But I mean, the key is you have to add to it. $250 is probably going to be about $1,000 in 8 years.
Well, so and that's what I think. I tried to do some math with $1,000 that the S&P returned on average 7%, which is low, I would say, but if 18 years goes in there, it's that $1,000 turns into $3,380.
Okay.
So $3,000 ain't nothing to laugh at. And that's assuming that we don't start educating kids that are working like at Chick-fil-A and Taco Bell through high school to take 20% of what you got left, put it in your IRA to get them started early in investing in themselves, because I think you and I are going to be hard pressed to have any Social Security.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
I think this is a precursory to that, to individual Social Security.
I think it's a what do they call it? Canary in the coal mine type of thing. Let's see how this works for a small group of the population, and then just imagine all the almost cottage industry that can grow up over teaching financial literacy.
Right.
And we've needed it forever.
The biggest thing I just heard out of all of that is exposure. This is why, outside of, again, creating a roster of players, right? More importantly, that kind of conversation is really what extends their future. Yeah, basketball is now. Yes, entertainment is now. But what does this do for you 2, 5, 7, 10 years? What if you get hurt?
What happens when the lights go out?
And and I know we're talking about literacy as a conversation right now, but almost putting insurance on yourself. If you are, like we tell our players right now, if you are your own instrument and this is what you use and this is what makes you money, why don't you have insurance on yourself? And I'm not talking about the basic health insurance.
Right.
When I was a musician coming up, I heard people talk about during like musician composition classes, you got to put insurance on your hands. I didn't think to do that until I actually became, responsible for myself. So after, once I moved out the house and had the opportunity to figure out what that looked like, I didn't just put insurance on my gear. I put insurance on my hands, because if something happened to my hands, this is what made me money. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I think Bruce Lee insured his hands. Lethal Weapons.
I
think he did have liability insurance. For it.
I think that's a wives' tale. Old
you
wives'
think so?
tale.
I don't know. I mean,
don't think they weren't doing that.
But,
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But that's but I think looking out for themselves. If they are the instrument of making, they're economic vehicle.
Yes.
You got to protect. You got to protect the physical plant, man.
Right.
That's the plant.
But what happens if you put $50 a year from the time your kid is in there?
I did those numbers.
I know we did.
Darn well.
So let's pretend for $50 extra a year compounded over time. How much did you end up with? Do we remember?
Now you're making me.
I'm making you search the
homework. Make sure you carry the one.
Yeah. You know what's?
Did you put it in here?
So.
$152,000 after 20 years, annual contribution $3,720. I don't.
The bottom line is, I think saying 7%. Oh, okay. You know why it says 7%? It's after inflation. So it's adjusted because I know the S&P and all that over 20 years brings 10 or 12% return.
Yeah.
Right.
But to adjust for inflation, that's why it's low at 7%. But I mean, look,
does that include the 19% Biden inflation?
I think over time,
Okay.
yes, the Bidenomics, yeah.
I didn't think we ever had
well,
19%
inflation is lower,
rate.
but people are forgetting that since the prices already went up and everybody got used to paying that, the companies aren't going to start charging less.
Right.
They're good. That's a new level now. We just reset the price level for everything.
Yeah.
I'm paying almost $6 a pound for turkey now at the shops.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was paying $2.45 before Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
wow.
The turkey people didn't send me a letter saying they're going down. They're going up another nickel next month.
Wow.
So, that's the one thing I can depend on from Coca-Cola and my meat suppliers is every January I got a letter.
Wow.
Every year Coca-Cola goes up 6-7%. And what does that 6-7 damn thing mean the kids are doing right now?
You know what?
What was that? That just I didn't mean to.
So I asked my daughter. All I could tell you is my daughter said, "Dad, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that."
All right, it's not a bad word.
No, not at all.
Okay,
no,
okay.
it's just like they're in between. You know
Okay.
what I mean? It's
all
one
right.
of those
Well,
things like
Coca-Cola is 6-7.
6-7. I think she was saying don't do that because Dad, come on.
Yeah.
you're
a little too old for that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do it any chance I get. 6-7.
Okay. So, what do we feel about the Trump accounts? Good, bad?
I love it.
I don't see nothing
Forget
wrong.
calling it Trump account, just savings account for a kid.
Right, savings account.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
I think
we can't give Orange Man any credit for doing anything positive.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, it's kind of like people still, if they're pissed off at the ACA, they call it Obamacare.
Right.
Because they want to throw his name up in there. And it's like, well, it's still the Affordable Care Act.
Still, there we go.
So I'll call it ACA if you'll call this the savings account for kids.
There we go. That's it. Yeah.
Take the politic out of it for a minute. And remember, during the 90s, early 2000s, there was a big push to privatize Social Security. And I think that's what this looks like. But
also in the 80s,
nobody has the cojones to do it.
Also in the 90s and the early 2000s, every single young man wanted to be Trump. Just saying.
Yeah, back then. He was cool then.
Yeah. They were like, I'm balling like Trump.
Remember, he was a darling Democrat back then, too.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Go back and look at all the times, all the awards that he got and all kinds of rap songs about him and everything else. But, then he turned into
it
a
is amazing to
Republican.
watch like old 80s movies or 90s movies and how many times he's referenced.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't think about it when you were watching it back then, but now, since he's gotten so much extra press these last few years, it's like, damn, he's
what
like
is it, 85%?
I don't think there's a many movies that don't mention him.
Yeah.
In some shape or form.
Yeah.
Who you think you are, Donald Trump?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Right.
So,
but now everybody's been told to hate him.
Yeah.
So,
and then shout out to the Simpsons. They told
their
future.
Simpsons did it.
To the T.
To the T, yeah.
Even the paper dropping and everything. Wow.
Hate them, like them, love them. At the end of the day, I'm trying to figure out how, they were able to be so spot on, with that.
Right.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Well, see what I'm okay. I don't like the way Trump speaks.
Yeah.
I think he is disrespectful to a lot of people. I don't think he
basically
acts
Rosie O'Donnell, though. I saw a news article about Rosie O'Donnell. She has moved to Great Britain, I think. And
Rosie O'Donnell?
Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell.
No, she's in Ireland.
Or Ireland?
Yes.
Okay. And they got fat leprechauns there too, but
oh my gosh, no, you didn't.
Come on,
she I don't like when you do it either.
She promised, you can clutch your pearls later. She promised her therapist that she would not post about Donald Trump. And then the article is basically saying how she failed at that because she just couldn't stop.
But did you see Eleanor DeGeneres and her wife are moving back here, and they had to make headlines about it because they wanted to move back here. But I feel like it's because Rosie O'Donnell's getting all the attention because she moved away, and they're like,
so now Ellen's like, I want some attention.
I want some attention too.
It's I mean, look, that is the height of infantilism. I'll pick up my ball and go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go home.
Dude, what about the rest of us?
Yeah,
we all got to suffer through.
No, I like where you were going though. First of all, you said take the name off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Savings account.
Yeah.
Affordable Care Act. All the different acronyms, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love where you were landing. At the end of the day, part of being able to get on board with certain political stances, for me, it has to do with how you treat people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard to support certain political stances when the person that's delivering it.
See, now I have a different say on that. Yeah. I don't like that about him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have him over to my house for dinner.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's running our country like a rock star.
Right.
So I take that emotional part out of it. He's not coming to my home. He's not teaching my children. He's not sleeping in my bed.
Right.
Or he's not my personal friend. We're not hanging out, fist pumping.
Yeah.
He's running our country.
So it's like the merge of the two. I don't like how you treat people. Let's call it the Savings Account Act.
Right. That's exactly right.
I mean?
I'm
like
just going to look at
the two
at policies, but I do call out the Republicans too, though.
Yeah.
And I think it's more important
like
to call
turkey's
it
cheaper.
a save. Yeah. Let's call it a savings
because
account.
That keeps the main thing.
Well, because God forbid it works.
Yeah.
And we really prove that, what? This is probably a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I've even discussed with Laura off air when we were prepping for this, what's the bad side of giving more money to Wall Street?
Yeah.
Well, are we going to have another 2008 crash because these jackholes start gambling our money again? I don't know.
But even with the crashes that we've had, the market comes back. That's what the long-term investment is for.
Right. And that's why we say it returns on average,
right,
7, 10, 12%.
Yeah.
So you take your lumps. It just sucks if you're retiring that year and your retirement just went away by 70%.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, but if you're at the same time, if you're retired, if you've left it in there for your 20, 40, whatever years, and you're 50 some odd years, so if it was done at birth, it's 50 years worth of, if it loses a large percentage, you're still better off.
Well, you still own the stock.
That's right.
So it can come back.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Hopefully it comes back before you expire.
I mean, my father invested in the stock market forever, and he had to put off retirement because the stock market crashed. So that's like life.
It's the chance you take. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any stocks really. So are you a stock guy or?
I'm a cryptocurrency guy.
Are you?
Yeah, okay. I'm a cryptocurrency guy.
I can't even spell cryptocurrency.
Let's try. Yeah, my brother actually got me into that. So I have stocks as well, just the basic stuff, right? But the cryptocurrency was kind of what I got into. I didn't go into the whole Doge thing when everybody did that and it didn't do a thing. But the basics, Ethereum, stuff like
Bitcoin,
that. Yeah,
so you stick with the blue chip Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
I'd like to learn about that. So does your brother what does he do that got him into that?
So exposure. Okay. Those literacy conversations, being in the right room at the right time, and then, forced research. I would say, so he and I, we actually have a portfolio together that we share. We've been doing it for a while.
Okay.
We invested X amount of dollar. It turned into a particular thing. And honestly, my brother's the brains when it comes to the crypto stuff. I'm the guy that says, now that we got all this capital, let's go buy a team.
You want to go buy something? Okay. All right.
Let's go buy a team. So no, he's the smart guy when it comes to that, but I do understand the top level, top shelf. Okay.
Well, if you got your brother in there, you're good.
Let's phone him up real quick.
You don't need to know. Yeah, you don't need. We'll phone a friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, that's good. You got your brother in there. So I got real estate or subs and salads. That's it. That's
there we
the most
go.
I'm going to invest in. So at
least you can see it. Real time.
I can touch it. And
yeah.
If it hits the fan, I can plant tomato plants on that land.
Yeah.
So we're going to be good. There you go. All right. So you want to talk about Thanksgiving dinner?
Yeah.
Did it cost you more this year?
It sure did. So all this talking points that everything's going the economic notebook, y'all lying.
Well, let's back up. So originally I forwarded you an email from either NCGOP or National GOP entitled Talking Points. They send this out every week or so.
Right.
And this past week's propaganda was that Thanksgiving dinner is cheaper. All because of the Donald. And I'm like, I don't think he adjusts the turkey prices. So we went and dug in a little bit and said, okay, well, was Thanksgiving really cheaper or what? And we found you got your notes in front of you. So.
I'm looking for that part of it.
You got to send me the read ahead next time.
Yeah.
I'd have brought my receipts.
We need to read the read ahead.
The American Farm Bureau Federation survey reveals the average cost of a classic 10-serving holiday meal is $55.18, down 5% from last year. And I'm thinking, who are you feeding for $55.18?
10 servings.
Sheesh.
Holy smokeronis.
$5 a person?
Must be low calorie.
Yeah. That ain't no Southern buffet.
I was going to say, I mean,
it's got to be low calorie.
I spent $55.18 on the sweet potatoes and the whatever. But I went to honey baked ham. Yeah. I got a honey baked ham. And then I always get a turkey because I love the stuff off the top.
Yeah.
But I do that so that I can eat turkey while I'm making turkey.
Yeah.
And macaroni and cheese because I love their macaroni and cheese.
Whoever came up with that list.
$168. That
sounds about right. Mm-hmm. That sounds about right. Whoever talked about that list, they didn't shop at Publix.
No, they did not. They did not.
I almost fell out. I was like, this is usually $100. Anybody that says it was cheaper, they're lying. And I'm sorry, GOP, you are lying.
Yes. And Robert, that's what we do here. Yeah. We try to break the stuff down because not all of it makes sense.
Yeah, that don't make sense. No.
Yeah.
Are we satisfied with having, Republican blah, blah, blah? Sure we are. We're still going to ask questions.
There we go.
It don't matter. I don't care what color, red or blue you are.
Right.
So, and to some of the people watching, we even like blue hairs.
Yeah.
Some of them.
I wouldn't look good with blue hair.
No, you wouldn't. Maybe a little bit of red tip.
Maybe a little purple streak. Because purple's my favorite color.
Purple's good, yes.
Yeah. But it's because the frozen turkey went down. They say the frozen turkey price went down, but fresh turkey went way
up. You buy turkey like 29 cents a pound if you had bought like $50 worth of groceries? Didn't a lot of stores have that special?
But it used to be a lot. It was a lot cheaper. I'm telling you.
I saw something from the 80s where turkey was just 29 cents anyway.
Right.
Now they're giving it away.
I was about to say, there should have been a cost appreciation because they gave away so many turkeys this year anyways. Yeah.
Well, it's a loss leader for my favorite business term ever was when the Coca-Cola rep came to see me 25 years ago in Hope Mills.
Yeah.
And she went to high school with me and she was kind of pretty easy to look at, and I was happy to see her. And she says, "You should sell 2 liters." I said, "Why?" I said, "Well, how much are they? They're $1.09 a piece." Okay. How much I sell them for? 99 cents. What? She says, "It's a loss leader." What the hell does that mean? She says, "Oh, you sell that so you can sell more sub." I said, "Get out of my store." No such thing as a lot, not for a little business like us.
Right.
But I guess the turkeys are a loss leader for the grocery stores.
Yeah.
They'd rather get $50, $60.
Are you a turkey person or are you a sides person?
I am. Actually, I'm a sides person.
Favorite side is?
Macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
Secondary dressing. Gotta have cranberries on the top. Cranberry sauce.
What kind of cranberry? Out of the can?
Out of the can.
The molded looking one? I love that one.
Food Line brand.
The jelly.
The jellied one. That you slice up. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then the leftovers, the Hawaiian roll with a little bit of turkey, a little bit of stuffing, a little bit of gravy, and some.
Oh, you making sliders.
Yeah.
I love it. That's after you done froze it and brought it back out. That's how you get your money's worth right there.
Laura, when you spent all that money at Honey Bake, like what was the serving? Like what were they saying that would feed? 10 people, 6 people?
Well, I had I had to serve 8. Okay. And so I said 8 to 10 people.
Okay. Wow.
So about $20 a person.
But that's just for the turkey and the ham. Yeah. I mean, I made
we're not going to pay you for your labor. Yeah. So,
No. That wasn't any of my sides.
Yeah.
I didn't get any sweet because I do the best sweet potato casserole. Everybody the best.
On.
Have you ever gone to Chris's Steakhouse?
I have.
Not Chris's here. Chris like
in Raleigh. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That
the one that they tell you it's a side, but it's really like a family side.
Yes. Right, but that sweet potato casserole that you're like, oh my God, this is like dessert.
Yeah,
I make that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Everybody's like,
and you didn't bring me none.
Oh, had I known.
Come on.
If I would have known you were a sides person, because that is the only thing that there's not. You know how like everybody's taking stuff to go,
right?
There's never any sweet potato casserole to go.
Never none left.
And I make a big old pan like that because people are like chowing down.
Man, so listen.
Yeah, I'm like that didn't do the
how big
corn.
a Thanksgiving did you have? How many people?
So I normally do 4 to 6 catered. So shout out to Darren McNeil.
I was gonna say catered. What does that mean?
Yeah. So actually, so quick story. So I'm not much of a chef. All right. So I was a single dad term situation, right? My daughter was with me from 0 to 12. Okay. So it was just me and her, had to figure out life really fast. Didn't know how to cook. Wanted her to always have Thanksgiving. When she was old enough to understand, I was like, I got to figure out something. So I got promoted to CW2, and I had this particular caterer come in and do my whole promotion ceremony. I asked him, I said, hey, do you mind catering Thanksgiving? Well, that was 6 years ago. He's been catering ever since.
Nice.
And so he's part of the family now.
Okay.
And so, every year he does Christmas and Thanksgiving for me. Yeah.
Oh, how nice. That's great. So, see, now I invite people that don't have family or whatever. And I'm a Republican, but I invite gay and lesbian people that don't have families. Don't tell anybody. But there are whatever. I love people for who they are.
There you go.
Not necessarily anything else. I don't care if you're blue hair, orange hair.
There you go.
Who you're sleeping with is none of my business. Just like who I'm
Nothing
sleeping
to do
with is
with
none
me.
of your business. That's exactly right. But if you are alone because your family has disowned you, because you're out of town or whatever, you are welcome in my home.
Can we lock in there? Which is why we had to lead with a vision statement of hope.community.
That's right.
We genuinely believe that a life without community is unknowingly walking in brokenness. You can't get to where you are. You can't unlock strategy for your life. And some of the best partnerships and lack of collaboration is lost with lack of community. So I love that that's your stance on that, you know, and being able to separate independent choices for collective community. Yeah, I think that's huge.
Yep. But even most of the people that don't agree with me politically, we find common ground.
Yeah.
Well, I just say, let's just not talk about national politics and the bad orange man, and we're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. As neighbors, I mean, you know, you turn off Fox and CNN, we're pretty good.
I mean, because I think, ask yourself this, take away personal origins, you know, who's to say that their thoughts don't align outside of, you know, personal choice and decision? Right. You know what I mean? And that's what I, you know, for me, take political stance out of it. You know, take myself, even as a Christian, you can think a particular way and you could be trained to not accept people that don't make the same religious choices as you.
But you know what? You're all sinners. It doesn't matter which sin you choose.
So the Bible says that clearly, that we all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.
That's right.
Equally, it also talks about the fact that he came and died for everybody.
That's exactly right.
So the folk that think they're good, you got some skeletons in your closet too. I had a sergeant major that told me, you still stealing even if you ain't got caught.
That's right.
And so, the piece of the matter is, I just love, again, just being able to understand that outside of personal choice and decision, man, there's still a way where we can all come together and agree, even if it's over turkey.
Yep.
Okay. The driest bird of the world.
Like, even if it's over turkey.
My turkey has never been dry. Thank you.
I don't think so. Based on how you describe your yams, I think, you know, I'm a little mad you didn't bring me a plate.
Oh my gosh. The best butter is the Irish butter, the Knudsen's or whatever it is. And you pick up the skin and you stick all these loaves of butter underneath there and it melts down. Yum. Yeah.
Come on. I'm just mad you didn't bring me a plate.
Okay. Well,
next year.
I was going to say you're invited next year.
Open invitation.
Invitation.
I'm going to remember that.
Okay. You think I'm joking, but I'm going to have a spot made for you. I'll be like, hey.
Make sure you send me a calendar invite, though.
Okay. I'll have to get
your. I got to put on there. Yeah, so he can ignore that too. You got to call him.
I got to accept it, though.
He's got to.
I got to accept it.
And then get invites and reminders and things like that, and then he'll show up like 5 minutes before dinner.
Everything we have going on. I mean, come on. How many? You said meetings, press conferences, whatever. You've been doing a lot of media lately.
Listen, if I didn't have my PR, Shadonna McFall, if I didn't have her just being able to just duplicate me, things would be missed. This is a daily. I didn't realize. So you have ownership of a team, then you have negotiation, then you have collaboration, and then you have a spot where you have to relate to people. And then I'm in a situation where I'm actually one of the owners that's in the town, that's in the city.
Okay.
So you know, you're talking about other organizations that they don't even live in Fayetteville. When you guys find out that I actually live here, now it's like I'm touchable. So now the Chamber of Commerce is like, not only do you come out, but can we have a conversation? Can you stick around for a while?
Yep.
You know, these different things, like the election that just took place and the inauguration that just took place here locally. You know, other organizations aren't getting that invite. I'm getting it simply because I'm in the area. And then there's an expectation to kind of, and so I'm taking on affections and affiliations that, you know, other sporting organizations aren't even, you know, offered.
Right.
That said, now I have to strategically use that to my advantage because, again, I've always said to everybody, basketball is the byproduct.
Okay.
We genuinely want to put on a good show and we want to entertain families, and we're about that. Okay, but what is the greater conversation? And so we're after the initiatives of City Council that speak to safety and making Fayetteville, again, like it's not just the can-do city, but it's the destination organization. So how do we boost tourism? How do we boost economy? How do we stimulate STEM? You don't do those things unless, you know, you're in a position like myself and you can use your position of influence, sporting agencies and stuff like that, to really push that conversation. So I'm thankful to even have the opportunity, you know, with this seat to be able to do that. Yeah.
Well, and that's what it's exciting to me because it's the quality of life. So, you know, living in Fayetteville, it's like a stool. You've got your quality of life, you've got your economic, your education, and what you're doing is very important.
Yeah.
Because how many times have you heard Ain't nothing doing Fayetteville. It's like, are you kidding? I've got season tickets to Woodpeckers. I got season tickets to Marksman.
Yeah.
So am I going to have season tickets to
definitely.
basketball?
Hold on just a second, Daddy-O.
What?
Okay, Daddy Warbucks has season tickets where? Okay.
Marksman. Okay. Woodpeckers.
Okay, Daddy Warbucks.
You're welcome to them anytime you'd like.
Oh, I wasn't offered before.
Well, now you get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I take back my Daddy Warbucks.
But the reason I do these things is because as a born and raised here and grown up, you have to participate if you want stuff here to stay. How many hockey teams have we had at the Crown?
I was there.
I think it's been
I was there when we won.
I think it was the Fire Ants at one
Fire
point.
Ants and the Force and Marksman now. Now, have you run into Mr. Chuck Norris?
I have.
Okay.
I have. Okay. But so surprisingly, I actually ran into him before I made the purchase.
Okay.
So just had some connections there, asked some questions. And, they were like, giving me like the back end information, not realizing that I was really, I really want to understand this Crown Complex Coliseum situation, the OVG,
come see me. I'm on the commission for the
so just trying to figure out all of those things. And I'm sure at the time they were like, they just thought I was just aimlessly asking, you know what I mean? But that was a great conversation, great mentorship. And so, but again, with them not having local affiliations, it's almost like, okay, Rob, you got to use those vacancies to your advantage. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so you have direct seats at the table. You have an opportunity for people to take you serious. Without the seat at the table, I'm just another basketball team. You don't know. And for real, think about it. Think about the different. So what we don't have here is community hockey. As an example, there's no local community hockey leagues.
Right.
With basketball, it's a sport where you don't know for AAU, you don't know for pro, you don't know for community level.
But you're going to be visible in high schools and colleges.
Which is why you got to use the seat at the table to make sure to differentiate that conversation. And so it's not to set, highs and lows because there's accesses for all of them. Mm-hmm. It's to create a platform again that says, hey, we are a feeder, we are a hub. We bring all of these spaces together. So there's a direct responsibility for galvanizing athletes, community to have the same conversation for a particular period of time. That's our goal.
I love the opportunity that it brings.
Yeah.
So what happened? Did we have arena football?
I believe we did a little bit. Yeah. So it's tough. This is a tough market. It goes back to what you said, getting and galvanizing that support, right?
But you know why?
Why?
Because we are a low income community.
We're a tier 1 community. Yeah.
We are a tier 1 community.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for a job.
Yeah.
Okay. I have management training. I have a lot of background in this.
Yeah.
Okay. Here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, they'll offer you all of $30,000 to do the job.
Wow.
If I move to Raleigh, North Carolina, starting 87.
Wow.
I want to drive an hour. I mean, I don't want to drive an hour, but I mean,
but I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, okay. As a restaurant manager, that we'll pay you $47,000 a year. Where am I going for $47,000 a year?
You're not going anywhere. You're stuck here.
Exactly. For 70 hours a week.
Right.
I'm like, that's a hard no for me. I'm willing to put in 60 hours a week, but you need to, I'm at least 60.
You're talking about wages. It's not a function of government.
But
it is
because we're our education system here in Fayetteville, North Carolina is crud. We have zero, nothing.
So like when I did when we had the government relations, we hosted the candidate academy, and we were talking to the candidates about, like, we had people from the Arts Council, we had people from Economic Development, we had people from the Parks and Rec, I think, and at the end of it, I posed a very adversarial question, like, why the hell do we have the Art Council here? Who cares?
Yeah.
To spark them to say it's quality of life. There's no point of having better schools, better economic situation if there ain't nothing to do here.
Yeah.
There's lots to do here.
We lose the heart of, and there's so much talent in Fayetteville. People underestimate how much talent we have in this city. And it's really remarkable, some of the people that I've met doing all this. That
extremely true. I couldn't back that up even more. But I will tell you, when it comes to sporting agencies, the one thing I found to be our bread and butter is that we were brave enough to buy the team far out enough to actually market. Mm-hmm. So if I'm honest, typical teams that have done what it is that we're trying to do and did not succeed they have windows in these other markets to buy teams and when you're supposed to play. Right. So the typical window opens up between September for the TBL. Let's stick to TBL. It opens from October to December. And typically you're supposed to play that following March. Well, I said when I bought the team and bought the market, I said, hey, listen, I understand what the rules for the league are, but I need a year, not for purchase. You'll get your money up front. I'll take the gap year for marketing, for collaborations, for opportunities to have these types of conversations. Because, and I'll even tell you, we're at a point now where people are still saying, oh, I never heard of the Liberty before. That means that our job isn't done. But I will tell you, more people know about the Liberty than they would have if we would have just started in March. And then we would have blamed as an organization, said, man, Fayetteville doesn't want to support anything. Right, no, you weren't brave enough to put seed in the ground. Okay, walk away and let it be nourished by the city, you know, and do things like the Scholar Awards like we've done. We came out and we gave 3 schools different Scholar Awards, never played a game. We did 2 basketball camps, one at TJ Robinson Life Center and the other one MWR, Fort Bragg. Okay. Hadn't played a game yet. We sponsored 85 graduates from the NC Public Works internship program. Haven't played a game. These are all affections and connections to the city that says before we entertain, before we compete, our goal is to connect. That's what's allowing the message of Fayetteville Liberty to circulate the city. And my goals are, if you don't like basketball, you're at least connected to the vision statement. And again, for that particular period of time, we're all believing for the same thing at the same time, and that's hope and community.
Why did you choose Liberty? Did you choose that name?
So check it out. Fort Bragg turned into Fort Liberty. so I'm glad you asked that. So check this out. So let's back up. I bought the team a year out, did the whole marketing thing. Great spiel, Rob. That's a great pitch. I practiced that. I wanted to buy the team actually 2 years prior. Couldn't figure out what the heck to call it. And I just couldn't. I was like, Fayetteville Ducks, Fayetteville. Nothing felt right, right? Fayetteville Infantry. Nothing felt right. Man.
Well, you could have had one of the Woodpeckers throwaways. It was going to be the Fatbacks. Right. Remember, man, I don't know, were you around for that?
Right. And there's so many weird names. And I'm just like, And for me, it just has to have some sort of connection. It just didn't make sense. Man, Fort Bragg messed around and woke up and called themselves Fort Liberty. I promise you, I called my general manager immediately and said, that's the name.
There you go.
Yeah. Fayetteville Liberty. Boom. Okay. And he was like, you sure? You daggone right. Let me tell you, Fort Bragg then woke up and said, nah, we want our name back. We're going back to, I said, you mean to tell me y'all gifted me with Fort Liberty, which now became Fayetteville Liberty, and you took your butt back to Fort Bragg.
But now you're unique.
But you still gave the name relevance.
Right.
Because it was Fort Liberty. There's a level of relevance that the city gave it.
Right.
Right. And so then you have us coming in, Fayetteville Liberty. It's alliteration. You know what I'm saying? It's the same tone and cadence and stuff like Fort Liberty, Fayetteville Liberty. It just works. Now you got all these Liberty Mutual, Liberty Bank, all these, man. Let me tell you something.
Fort Bragg had to change back to Fort Bragg Credit Union and all that.
But you said it enough to where Fayetteville Liberty feels natural.
Right.
And so the chamber asked me one time, I was at the meeting and I was doing my little elevator speech and stuff like that. Tell you, I got that thing down, right? They said, are you going to go back? Are you going to change the name because Fort Liberty went back to Fort Bragg? I said, hell no.
You've done a lot of work. First thing you do is when you're being successful, don't change your name.
No. I'm just going to stand right there.
I spoke, so I was against the name change in the post, but you know, thinking back about it, Liberty's just a better name. It gives us a fresh start.
You know, for a whole lot of reasons, 17 years military, so I'm always going to stick with homegrown lineage, right? And then you got to understand, like, you know, the paratroopers and the history and the tradition and all of that stuff. I'm personally glad that it's back to Fort Bragg. I wish they wouldn't have put the dollars into the name. I feel like that was
$6 million. That's around
just
the
right. You know, it's crazy, right?
I mean, that's less money than the Minnesotians embezzled.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
That's a whole.
We'll talk about that next show. We'll get to that. That's a whole show, right?
Right.
There.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, good Lord, those guys were crafty. From what I saw.
But I would tell you, them naming Fort Bragg to Fort Liberty, that was a gift to me because I wanted to buy the team. It had been a conversation for 2 straight years. Just couldn't determine what to call it. So it was a gift.
Well, I appreciate how much confidence you have in Fayetteville and how much you love this area. Because it sounds like you have spent a couple of nickels.
Yeah.
Together to sponsor people and really become part of the community. And I think.
Can I ask him one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Why Fayetteville?
Why not?
Are you from here? Do you have family here? What made you say Fayetteville. Heck yeah. So I mean, we're 30, we're 32nd in the nation for murders. Did you know that? Yeah.
Didn't know that number specifically, but I would have said somewhere in the 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 50 states in America. My son was murdered 10 years ago.
Wow.
So this is like, I ran for city council because I want to help our youth. I want to find programs for young men to do better.
Yeah.
And so to me, I'm always looking for positive programs for kids. So I'm excited about the opportunity to have a basketball team here. But why somebody outside looking in, I'd be like, Fayetteville, how can we go to Cary or something like, you know what I mean?
So Fayetteville, first of all, is home to me and my family. Okay. I was not born here originally. I'm in a military family as well. My dad did 20 years, retired Master Sergeant, the whole nine, right?
He had it easy growing up.
No, I wouldn't say all
Master
that.
Sergeant, Yes,
Master Sergeant.
But so I was in the home when he was, E5, E4. My brother got that senior NCO treatment.
Nice.
Shout out to him. That's my brother, man. Love him to death. But in relocation and all the things and retirement, he was able to put us here, and we've cemented Fayetteville, North Carolina as the home. Okay, this is the hub of everything that we do. So in going away and doing my military career and then coming back here, this is where I spent the majority of my career. This is where my children went to school. Equally, this is where I saw things that just weren't as positive, happen. And so it's like, okay, I tell people all the time, you don't have to be great. You don't have to leave Fayetteville to be great. You said it earlier today. There's so much talent here in the city. Nice. I wanted to be the solution to a problem. Not so much the answer in terms of going out of the city to do it. Okay. I wanted to say, okay, if you don't have to be great, you don't have to leave to be great. What opportunities are here for you to do that? If I'm honest, basketball in a certain kind of way is a minority driven sport. Okay. So I'm talking to my own people to a certain kind of degree. I'm just being honest.
Give the people what they want, man.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So it's just real. Okay. We're lucky if we get 2 Caucasians to come and try out for the basketball team, at this point, because it's Fayetteville.
If I get back to my fighting weight, I'll see you there,
Camp tryout is $175.
It's okay. It's okay to be a realist here. I mean, primarily football and basketball are primarily minority sports.
And
100%.
So
we're a minority city.
Exactly.
That's true.
What are we beating around the bush?
So I am just trying to create a space for people that look like me to excel. At the end of the day, I am sick of saying or thinking that only white people can be successful in areas of leadership, in areas of resources, in areas of education. I'm sick of that. Mm-hmm. I want my children to have an opportunity to be great, and I don't want to have to send them to someone else's business when I can start a business that they can graduate into, that they can take over down the line. Okay. And so again, I'm going to send you to the Ivy League school, but then I'm going to bring you back to something that's functional, right? And I'm going to keep it right here in the city. And so I would be sacrilegious to my own thoughts and beliefs if I said, hey, man, I'm from here. I pay taxes here. But what I look like putting a team in Wilmington? What I look like, that doesn't even make sense. This is the city that I serve, and this is the city that serves me. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a city that's seen my good days. This is a city that's seen my bad days. And so I built my marketing and media company here. So this is where, I have the most roots in the ground. I was telling somebody before that you can't act like Fayetteville didn't make you great, even if you moved to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Fayetteville still made you great. You still went to 71st. Stop playing.
And we do have a rapper that comes back and puts back into the J. Cole. Yeah. I mean, that to me is something that's fantastic. Too many people. Yeah. I'm from the Hispanic community because I know I present as white. That's what I was told. You present as white. So, white. Whatever. But the same thing happens with the Hispanic community. You become successful and you leave. What about you left us behind? Wait a minute. We need your help too. So I appreciate anybody that stays and says, hey, I'm going to help you be great too. It's like a leg up.
And then it's concurrent action. This is why I keep saying basketball is the byproduct, because there's marketplace that we're going to try to dominate after this. Mm-hmm. And so our goal here with the city is not to just entertain, but our goal is to create economic growth at large. How do you do that in a Crown? Nah, you borrow it for a little while, but then you develop your own facility where you not only play basketball, but you have marketplace within the ecosystem of what you're doing. And now basketball is just a byproduct. Imagine that. And so imagine how many jobs you now add to the community by doing that.
I'll send you my resume.
While you playing with the Fayetteville Liberty, we're adding upwards of 30 jobs to the city.
Okay.
With our organization, we currently have 12 people staffed and employed with us right now. Yeah,
okay.
I'm talking W-2.
So wow. So how long has that? So over a year?
So we bought the team December the 12th of last year.
Okay.
So shout out to the press conference that we're doing this year. People think I just picked December the 12th out of the hat. Nah, this was strategic. So we're going to be a year old.
Okay.
December the 12th at the actual press conference. But yeah, so this has been a lot of seed in the ground in terms of planning. And so I had to hire things strategically, right? You got to go get your GM. But the best investment I probably made with our team before I picked a player or a coach was to get HR. I had to go figure that out. If I want white people to take me serious, I'm being real. If you want them to take you serious, because they take us as a joke sometimes. Okay, but what do your books look like? Do you have a payroll platform? Is your business accredited? Mm-hmm. Do you have proper?
Did people really say that to you?
Yes. I can't tell you his name.
Have you tried to borrow money?
Let me tell you, I'm not going to say his name, but I had a person tell me, when they were trying to sell me some sort of package as it pertains to the Liberty, you couldn't afford me. Yeah. I had a person, you couldn't afford me because of connection to municipalities. Really? All right. Let me bypass that. Mm-hmm. Let me have the conversation with municipality direct.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you present that you have your stuff in order, like you said earlier today, I don't see your personal choices. I don't see color. I see literally what you have presented as an impact on community and a return on investment. And that's what you get behind. That's what you believe. This is when you can say stuff like the Affordable Care Act and a savings account. Take the name off of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Do you have your documentation in order? Mm-hmm. Do you have a bookkeeper? Do you have an accountant? Because that's the first and the fastest way to get yourself in trouble in a business like this, because you're so focused on playing basketball that the business model is not built in a way to sustain. And if I'm honest, as it pertains to the people that I represent, that's our biggest failure. It's access to information that makes you legitimate. It's always wanting a discount and a hookup. No, join the Chamber of Commerce and invest into other businesses. Right. Align yourself with like-minded people that have a strategy against their business. You know what I mean? It's bigger than selling t-shirts. It's, we started off like that because we didn't know what we didn't know. But shout out to Yellow Crowns. We had to get an official apparel distribution. I'm not going to go outside of the city when we have those capabilities right here in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Sure.
I'm also not going to try to make it seem like we can keep up with the apparel demand out of somebody's garage.
Right.
You got to figure out a way to make that legitimate. So we had to make strategic and smart sacrifices. Year one, we're not playing. We're going to put all of these capabilities in play. And so when it's time, now there are going to be people that don't see even Robert Edwards. Forget my color. They're not going to see my name. They're going to see Fayetteville Liberty as the staple and conversation point. I want to be connected to them because they just do good business.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so eventually when you get this up and running, you're going to teach people in the community how to do exactly what you've done.
Definitely want to be the blueprint and example.
It's not his job though. His job is to do good by his own people.
I
and
understand
run that team and be an example of what you can do.
But it doesn't do any good. But it doesn't do. See, that's what I say. He's back here in the community giving back, and it's great that he has this knowledge, and that's where the training comes in for me. It's great that you have that knowledge and you've made all these errors and things on there, but to pass it on to somebody else who has no means to do that, that's like tenfold. That's how
you pay it forward.
That's exactly right. When I was a training manager for restaurants, I would train somebody and they would go on to be something. And I'd be like, I did that. I mean, I didn't do it. They did it, but I gave them the tools, and that's carrying your legacy and spreading your legacy on to the future.
So check it out. A lot of people would say, why did you pick Alpha Academy and not the Crown to do your press conference? You're playing at the Crown. Why would you go to a school for everything you just said? Everybody may not be a basketball player.
That's right.
But we're also not only inviting the local community and local body and VIPs and all those great things. We're doing it in front of the 8th through 12th grade class, because everybody may not be a basketball player, but maybe they want to be a GM. Maybe they want to be an HR. Maybe they want to meet the marketing team. Maybe they want to say, I might want to own a team one day. And how do you do that if you don't expose them to that?
Yeah. See,
they're not having those. Having those conversations at home all the time.
That's right.
This is an underrepresented city, as you said, and a lot of times we're only represented for the negative.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens when now we put positive conversation in front of them that they wouldn't have seen unless they were connected to the Charlotte Hornets? We're the closest sports, the closest basketball organization that they'll see as it relates to professional basketball. Why not let them know and expose them to, you don't have to just be Steph Curry. You could be Rich Paul, the guy that's signing the contracts.
Or Robert.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Should we end on that?
Representation
I want to be
matters.
Robert.
I mean, it's like
I just want the yams.
I don't know. I think without a doubt, Robert would be the kind of guy who's going to find a lot of success with this, and he is going to get back to the community. He's not going to sit on his hindquarters. I mean, he's going to be active in the community.
I just want people to see that it's possible. That's it.
And I do want to just recognize for a moment that Peter Pappas here gives back to the community all the time.
I know he does.
He donates food all the time. He is the first one to give back. So I'm just going to toot your horn because nobody ever toots your horn enough.
Somebody told me to ask you for something once we get off there. So I know he does. I came here with appetite. I ain't going to lie to you. I did.
We'll have your favorite next time you come.
They said go there hungry.
Yeah. So, well, guys, we're coming up on an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was fun.
My dear cabinet, we have over an hour of fun this evening. So, Laura, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Actually, it's your pleasure, but yeah.
Mr. Robert Edward, it's so good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So good to have you here. To my audience, I hope you'll do us a favor and take time this week to visit one of our sponsors. Let them know you heard their message right here on the Carolina Cabinet. If you do somehow miss an episode of our top-rated show, you can find us on your favorite podcast broadcaster, Apple, Spotify. Just Google it. Okay, come on.
There you go.
Find us on thecarolinacabinet.com. You can find all our videos and links. Thanks again for tuning in. And until next time, with the Carolina Cabinet.
Carolina Cabinet.